Thanks for joining us on the Ramsey Consulting Services blog. We help small and mid-sized businesses simplify technology and stay secure so you can focus on growing your business. Today we're talking about payroll diversion fraud. Let's get into it. Payroll is one of the most trusted and sensitive functions in any business. Employees rely on it for timely, accurate pay, and organizations depend on it to maintain workforce morale and compliance. That trust is exactly why cybercriminals target payroll systems through a scheme known as payroll diversion fraud. This attack is a specific type of business email compromise, or BC, where criminals impersonate employees or HR representatives to reroute direct deposits into accounts they control. While it may sound straightforward, payroll diversion is an increasingly sophisticated, costly, and underreported threat that business leaders cannot afford to ignore. In this article, we'll explore how payroll diversion works, why it's on the rise, what the numbers tell us, and most importantly, what you can do to protect your team and your business. What is payroll diversion fraud? Payroll diversion fraud occurs when a cybercriminal manipulates payroll records so that wages are sent to an account they control rather than the rightful employee. Most schemes start with a phishing or spear phishing email. Attackers pose as employees contacting HR or payroll departments, often from lookalike email addresses or compromised accounts. They'll send a request such as, "Hi, I've changed banks and need to update my direct deposit details before the next payroll cycle." Once the payroll team updates the account information, the employee's paycheck is diverted. The employee may not realize anything is wrong until payday arrives, leaving HR teams scrambling and businesses facing both financial and reputational damage. How payroll diversion fits into the bigger picture of payroll fraud. It's important to distinguish between payroll diversion and payroll fraud as a whole. Payroll fraud is a broad category that includes schemes like ghost employees, inflated overtime, falsified reimbursements, and diversion of funds. Payroll diversion is a narrower type within that category, specifically tied to email compromise and fraudulent changes to direct deposit instructions. This distinction matters because much of the data we have is for payroll fraud overall, not diversion alone. The numbers behind payroll fraud and diversion. While diversion-specific statistics are limited, broader payroll fraud data provides context for the scale of the risk. According to the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, payroll fraud schemes typically last around 18 months before detection. The median loss per case is about $50,000, translating to roughly $2,800 per month in undetected theft. Payroll fraud is about 1.5 times more likely to occur in businesses with fewer than 100 employees. In fact, 14% of cases in smaller organizations involve payroll fraud, compared to just 9% in larger companies. Payroll fraud accounts for roughly 10% of all occupational fraud cases worldwide. These figures encompass the full range of payroll fraud schemes. But within that category, payroll diversion is gaining traction. Payroll diversion-specific trends. Proofpoint reported an 815% increase in payroll diversion attempts between 2018 and 2019, and noted that it blocked over 35,000 attacks in early 2020, stopping an estimated $2.2 million in daily losses. A 2025 HR industry update observed a 22% rise in diversion-related scams, especially targeting sectors like healthcare and education. While we lack a precise median loss figure for diversion alone, the trajectory is clear. Attackers are scaling these schemes aggressively. Why businesses are vulnerable. Several factors make payroll diversion attractive to attackers. Trust in HR communications. Employees and HR teams are accustomed to handling sensitive information via email, making phishing requests feel routine. Limited verification processes. In many organizations, requests to update direct deposit details can be completed with a single email or form submission. Tight payroll timelines. Payroll staff often work against deadlines, which creates pressure to process changes quickly without extensive checks. Appeal of low-risk, high-reward crime. Unlike ransomware, diversion fraud doesn't rely on encryption or detection. Once money is sent, it's often unrecoverable. The real-world impact. For businesses, the impact of payroll diversion extends beyond lost funds. Employee stress and financial hardship. Victims may miss mortgage payments, fall behind on bills, or lose trust in their employer. Operational disruption. HR and payroll staff must investigate, recover, and restore pay quickly, often requiring manual corrections. Reputational damage. Employees expect employers to safeguard sensitive information. A lapse can harm morale and retention. Potential compliance exposure. Mishandling payroll funds or failing to secure employee data can bring regulatory scrutiny. For smaller businesses, a single diversion case, especially if it mirrors the $50,000 median loss seen across payroll fraud, can strain budgets or even threaten business continuity. Warning signs of payroll diversion. Employees and payroll teams should stay alert to red flags, including email requests for urgent or last-minute changes to direct deposit details, misspellings or slight variations in email addresses, for example, using the number 1 instead of a lowercase l, as in john.smith@examp1e.com. Requests to use unfamiliar bank accounts, particularly prepaid debit or foreign institutions. Lack of standard verification procedures, for example, bypassing HR portals. Employee reports that their paycheck didn't arrive, despite payroll showing processed. How to prevent payroll diversion. The good news: strong prevention measures can significantly reduce your risk. For HR and payroll teams, require in-person, phone, or video verification for any changes to direct deposit details. Use secure self-service portals rather than email for payroll updates. Train staff regularly on phishing awareness and social engineering tactics. Maintain audit trails to track who makes changes and when. For employees, report unusual payroll or HR emails immediately. Check pay information regularly to confirm account details. Stay skeptical of urgent requests to click links or share personal data. IT and security changes. Enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA, across email and payroll systems. Monitor for unusual email activity, such as forwarding rules or suspicious logins. Deploy an advanced email security solution that flags spoofed or suspicious messages. Implement role-based access controls so only authorized personnel can change payroll data. Building a culture of verification. Technology is critical, but culture matters too. Encourage employees and managers to slow down and verify unusual requests, even if they appear to come from leadership or HR. A quick phone call can mean the difference between a secure payroll cycle and thousands of dollars lost. Key takeaways for business leaders. Payroll diversion is a specific and fast-growing subset of payroll fraud. While most available data reflects payroll fraud broadly, evidence shows diversion attacks are increasing sharply. Strong controls, both technical and procedural, are the best defense. Moving forward, payroll diversion fraud underscores the reality that cybercrime is not only about ransomware or large-scale breaches. A single fraudulent email can redirect a paycheck and immediately damage employee trust. Businesses that treat payroll security as a joint responsibility between HR, IT, and leadership will be far better equipped to resist these attacks. By combining employee training, layered defenses, and a culture of verification, you can help ensure your team's hard-earned pay ends up where it belongs, safely in their accounts. We hope you found this useful. For more insights on cybersecurity and business development, visit us anytime at ramseycs.net/blog. If you have questions about our services and how we can support your business, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for listening and take care.